first of all, who was the one? When did you first hear the word, and who told you about it?
Whitney.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I would say that I was pretty young. People were exploring their sexuality in elementary school, and at my first grade in kindergarten. So I had an idea what it was, and my mom has always been very vocal about sex, not necessarily what it was, but like leaving in some blanks. If something happens, I'll take you to take care of it, that type of thing. But that was pretty much the introduction that I got. My parents didn't really have a long talk with me about it. I just kind of went on by myself. I remember listening to this one song when I was really young, and she said something about a menage a trois, and I asked my dad, like, what is that? And he was like, oh, nothing, So I would have to say I came to an understanding about what sex was on my own, probably from TV and school. But as far as parents, there was really no actual conversation. It was just more so just little things. So that's it. I mean, I don't have, a great story for you, Dr. Kaci.
Okay, now Whitney. So for me, I think I learned most of sex on TV. I was a young age when I started watching porn. But I also remember different incidents with older cousins and different things that were kind of inappropriately sexually. And I had one person that used to babysit me that used to have me rubbing and touching on her. So I kind of was exposed to sex in a very strange way. Starting out, and that might have encouraged my desire to watch porn. But I also had older. I was the youngest of all the cousins for a very long time.
Okay.
So they would be babysitting me and be having sex in the other room. I don't know how honest we've been.
The F word is encouraged. The
Say
F
what you
word is encouraged.
So like it gave me an inquisitive mind about sex in general, and then I liked watching sex. I would be home by myself a lot. My mom worked third shift at GM, so when I was at home, Cinemax used to be seeing to the max. So that was pretty much where it started, and then from there I had other people. I knew people that were having sex before I started having sex. So it just kind of blossomed. I didn't start having sex until I was ready, but my mom never talked to me about it. My dad really wasn't around. I had cousins and people that would tell me, like, if you're going to do it like this. Don't give it too much. You know what I'm saying? Let them gradually give it to them so you don't put it out alone. I mean, it was interesting, but I wouldn't change it. I think that, I would change some of the sexual things when I was a child.
Right.
But other than that, the things that I learned, when I was old enough to experience those things, I appreciate.
What? I'm glad you brought up, Dr. Kaci, something that I actually forgot, because I wouldn't really consider it for me an introduction to sex. It's so crazy because I had a babysitter as well who had also a weird situation where she would have the kids do things to her. Back then I was so little, I would go literally. So the neighbor was my babysitter, but she had a daughter, and her daughter was the one that would, as soon as mom left, all the kids were hers to do whatever she wanted or have them do to her. So anytime the mom left, I would be the first one under somebody's bed until I heard mama come back. So that's so interesting that you have a story that's similar. I've never heard anybody talk about that before. So it's like, okay, so this isn't like, I'm not crazy here.
I talk about it openly more than most people. Like, I know people in my family with the same person. Like, I have a little cousin that said that she used to have her come in and watch her take showers and, do little weird shit. So for me, it was like, no, this person is like a predator. But When before I went to the army, probably about 15, 16, I seen her like older, and she was like, like she was proud of that. And it was just kind of like right now, like if I wouldn't have started talking about it out loud where people could hear it, if I
Yeah.
was talking to her right now, she would probably let me come over and rub on her titties right now.
Wow.
See, and you know what? My aunt never let anybody look after us. From as long as I can remember, I was with some old lady next door. She
Mhm.
would never